In the most recent issue number 10 of the Darth Vader comic series, we saw the culmination of Jocasta Nu's mission to rebuild the Jedi Order following Order 66, ending in her death at the hands of Vader. However, the new canon depiction of Jocasta's death, although sharing many similarities, has seen a significant change from what had previously occurred in Legends. In this video expose, I will explain how Vader killed Jocasta in Legends versus the current canon. Let's start with the Legends sequence of events. As the chief librarian of the Jedi Archives on Coruscant, Jocasta primarily stayed within the temple throughout the galactic war against the Separatists to fulfill her duties. Therefore, Jocasta was within the temple when Darth Sidious's new apprentice Darth Vader stormed it with his 501st Legion, in an action known as Operation Nightfall. While performing her usual work within the archives, Jocasta heard fighting erupt within the lower levels of the temple, immediately recognizing that something was wrong. Understanding that it would only be a matter of time before the fighting made its way to the archives, Jocasta summoned her Padawan, a human male named Jinlo Race. Attempting to save as much of the wisdom within the archives as she could, Jocasta provided Race with a number of data chips upon which information from the archives was downloaded onto. Further providing her Padawan with a datapad containing blueprints of Coruscant's underworld, Jocasta ordered Race to retreat from the temple through secret passageways that she informed him of, hoping he could save himself and the knowledge within the data chips. Having remained within the archives of the temple, Jocasta was ultimately confronted by the former Jedi Darth Vader himself, who appeared with a number of clone troopers. The Sith Lord demanded that she provide him with access to the secured communication room which contained the Jedi Temple beacon. Refusing to give in to Vader's demands, Jocasta instead ignited her lightsaber, demonstrating that she would not go along with the plans of the Sith. Having been denied by Jocasta, an enraged Vader lifted the Jedi Master off the ground using the Force, and used his own ignited lightsaber to impale her through the chest, killing Jocasta instantly. After carelessly tossing Jocasta's body into the stacks of the archives that she dedicated her life to, Vader then began to root out the remaining Jedi in the archives, who by that time had started to destroy as much of the information as they could, in a desperate attempt to prevent it from falling into the hands of the Sith. The events in the current canon surrounding the death of the lead archivist of the Jedi Temple archives is quite different than that which occurred in Legends. Outlined within the latest arc of the Darth Vader comic series, we've seen that Jocasta was not a casualty of Order 66 as depicted in Legends. Rather, she was able to survive the initial purge and escape from Coruscant completely. Instead of attempting to save only a few data chips worth of information as seen in Legends, Jocasta attempted to create a competing archive, filled with the knowledge and wisdom she had from decades of maintaining the temple archives. Following Order 66, she dedicated herself tirelessly to completing her archive, hoping that it could one day be used to restore and teach the next generation of Jedi. It was this vast knowledge that led Sidious to view Jocasta as one of the greatest threats to his new empire. He saw the former archivist as so dangerous to his rule that he personally tasked Vader with finding Jocasta and capturing her alive. He wanted to both prevent her from attempting to revive the Jedi Order and obtain her knowledge of the locations across the galaxy that held secrets related to both the light and dark sides of the Force. Vader wouldn't have to wait long for his confrontation with the Jedi Master. Understanding that the archive she created would need students, Jocasta was forced to travel back to the Jedi Temple on Coruscant to retrieve a memory crystal, which contained all of the Force-sensitive children known to the Jedi prior to Order 66. Although she obtained the crystal, Jocasta was ultimately confronted by Vader before she could escape from the temple. Jocasta made a valiant effort to escape from the clutches of Vader and the forces of the Empire, including taking up a Force-related Jedi weapon from a secret cache within the archives, but she was eventually caught and taken into custody by the Sith Lord. However, while Vader was able to gain possession over the memory crystal, Jocasta was able to convince Vader that the crystal represented a threat to him, as Sidious could use the names upon it to find an apprentice to replace him. Therefore, Jocasta's last act was to ensure that the Sith, specifically Sidious, were not able to obtain the location of the remaining Force-sensitive children throughout the galaxy. With that, recognizing that Jocasta was a similar threat to him in this regard, not to mention his bloodlust in seeking revenge against all of the remaining Jedi, Jocasta's end again came at the hands of Vader. Still on board the transport vehicle, Jocasta died when it crashed and exploded into flames on the surface of Coruscant. So there we have it, how Vader killed Jocasta Nu in Legends versus how it occurred recently within the current canon. We love making these videos, so why not subscribe for more fun Star Wars theories and discussions? Also, if you enjoyed the video, think about giving a like or leaving a comment. Or perhaps follow us on Twitter at SW Reading Club for updates regarding the channel. Or support the channel through Patreon for access to exclusive hangouts and book discussions. If not for me... For I wonder what would have happened if she just walked away.